Hello student, welcome for today's practical session. In today's practical session, we are going to learn about to study the effect of substrate concentration on salivary amylase activity. I, Professor M.G. Shinde, KKO College of Pharmacy, Nasik, welcomes to all of you for today's session. The learning objectives to know aim, reagents required for today's practical, principle behind today's practical, procedure, observation, and finally we have to note the result. The aim of today's practical to study the effect of substrate concentration on salivary amylase activity. For this, the requirements apparatus and glasswares we require thoroughly washed, dried test tube stands, beaker, glass rod, water bath, etc. In chemicals we required starch solution of different concentration like 0.5%, 1% and 2%. Iodine solution, 5% sodium chloride solution, buffer pH 6.8, distilled water, etc. Now preparations, we have to prepare 0.5% starch solution by dissolving 5.5 gram of starch soluble in suitable quantity of boiled distilled water and make up the volume with quantity sufficient 100 ml distilled water. Similarly, we have to prepare 1% and 2% starch solutions. We also require to prepare 5% sodium chloride solutions. Dissolve 5 gram of sodium chloride in suitable quantity of distilled water and make up volume to quantity sufficient 100 ml. We have to prepare iodine solution, dissolve potassium iodide in about 20 to 30 ml distilled water, add iodine and heat gently with the constant mixing until iodine is dissolved. Then we have to dilute it with 100 ml of distilled water. Now the principle behind today's practical. Salivary amylase is a hydrolytic enzyme that breaks down many polysaccharides like starch, amylase, dextrin and each disaccharide that is maltose and isomaltose. The salivary amylase is the enzyme produced by the salivary glands. It breaks down starch into the maltose and isomaltose. Amylase, like other enzymes, work as a catalyst. It digests starch by catalyzing hydrolysis, which is splitting by the addition of water molecule. Hydrolysis of starch yields a polysaccharide of gradually diminishing molecular size, ultimately that is acrodextrin and maltose. An enzyme is a protein molecule that is a biological catalyst. The activity of enzyme is strongly affected by different changes like substrate concentration, pH, temperature, etc. Each enzyme works best. Its activity depends upon the substrate concentrations. So when starch tested with the iodine solution, it gives blue color. The presence of starch in the solution is tested with the iodine solution for its complete hydrolysis by salivary amylase till it shows development of achromic point. The concentration of starch present in the solution can affect salivary amylase activity. As the concentration increases, time required to achieve the achromic point or hydrolysis also increases, and it prolongs the development of achromic point. Thus, salivary amylase activity can be affected by substrate concentration. Now, there are various stages of hydrolysis of starch. Starch gets hydrolyzed by the action of salivary amylase, produces various products gradually, which upon reaction with the iodine gives various color, and lastly the achromic point after complete hydrolysis. Starch when tested with the iodine, it will give blue color. The hydrolysis product amylodextrin gives violet color with the iodine, while the erythrodextrin gives red color with iodine. Finally, complete hydrolysis, starch is converted to acrodextrin and maltose, where after testing with iodine does not produce any color, that is achromic point is developed. So here the effect of substrate concentration we have to study on the salivary amylase activity. As the substrate concentration increases, the time taken to reach achromic point is also increases. Now the procedure. Now we have to perform this procedure in laboratory. For this, we have to collect the saliva as in the previously described manner. That is, we have to take saliva and dilute 1:20 dilution of the saliva solution. We have to prepare. Then we have to take 3 clean test tubes, mark them as test 1, 2 and test 3. To each tube we have to first add 2 ml of buffer pH 6.8 followed by addition of 1 ml 5% sodium chloride. Now we have to add 5 ml of 0.5% starch solution in test tube 1. In test tube 2 we have to add 5 ml 1% starch solution, and in test tube 3 we have to add 5 ml 2% starch solution and incubate all this mixture at 37 degree for 4 to 5 minutes. After incubation, first we have to take 0.5 ml of iodine solution in 10 to 12 tubes and place them in test tube stand at room temperature. First test tube marked as test tube 1, which contain 0.5% concentration of starch. You have to add 2 ml freshly prepared saliva in that tube, mix well, and next take a drop of this mixture and add to the first test tube which contain iodine solution. Repeat the same procedure after every 1 minute, each time adding the reaction mixture to the next tube contain iodine solution should be placed in the row. Note the time taken to achieve achromic point, no color with the iodine for test tube 1, that is for 0.5% starch solutions. So we have to find out the development of achromic point, after which time minutes the achromic point is developed. We have to repeat the procedure for test tube 2, which contain 1% starch solution, and we have to again note the achromic point. Similarly, we are going to repeat the procedure for test tube 3, which contain 2% starch solution, and again we have to note the achromic point. Now we are actually going to perform this practical in laboratory. So student, here our next practical is to study the effect of substrate concentration on the salivary amylase activity. So for this practical we required glass pairs and chemicals. In the glass pairs we required set of test tubes. We have to take 3 test tubes. We have to mark them as different substrate concentration, that is 0.5%, 1%, 2%. We required a set of dry test tube for taking the iodine solutions. Then in the chemicals we required very first of all the different concentrations of starch solutions, that is 1%, 0.5% and 2%. Then we required iodine solutions, diluted iodine solutions, distilled water, buffer solution pH 6.8, that is phosphate buffer, and sodium chloride solution. Now the very first step in this practical. So very practical, we have to take 3 test tubes. So here already we have taken 3 test tubes with the different concentrations of the starch solutions. So here already I have taken 0.5% 2 ml of 0.5% starch solution, similarly 1% 2 ml of starch solution, and 2% 2 ml of starch solutions. So this is step number 1. We have to take phosphate buffer, that is buffer solution pH 6.8. We have to add 2 ml of buffer solution in each tube. Next, in the next step, we have to take sodium chloride solution. Now, in each tube, we have to add 1 ml of sodium chloride solution. So, 5% sodium chloride solution. 1 ml to each tube. Meanwhile, we have to collect saliva. We have to dilute the saliva and we have to keep it for 5 minutes aside. Mark this as saliva solution. The first 3 tubes, that is of different concentration, we have to incubate these tubes for 3 to 4 minutes at 37 degree. So here we have to incubate all these 3 tubes for 37 degree for at least 5 minutes. So we have to maintain the temperature. It should be not exceeding to 35 degree, 37 degree. So we will maintain the temperature and incubate it for 3 to 5 minutes. Now after incubation, all these 3 tubes, we will keep them aside for a few minutes. Meanwhile, we have to take a set of dried test tubes. We have to take in each test tube iodine solution in equal amounts, and we will mark them as 0 minute, 1 minute, 2 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute, 5 minutes, 6 minute, so on. We have to take first test tube, which is having 0.5% concentration of the starch solution. We will take 2 ml of diluted saliva. We have to add it into the first test tube. After adding the saliva, we have to add it to the first tube, 2 drop of mixture. So 0 minutes. Color development starts. That means starch solution is present there. Again, after 1 minute, we have to repeat this. Again, after 1 minute, we will repeat this. We will add few drop of mixture in iodine solution. Again, there is color change is observed. Again, we will repeat this after 1 minute. We will add a few drops of mixture of 0.5% solution. Still there is color development, so that means starch is exist. Then after 1 minute, we will add few drops of mixture. Now the color somewhat changes to the orange, brownish color. Again, after 1 minute we will repeat the procedure. We will add few drops of mixture. Still there is color development, that means starch is present there. Still there is color development is observed. Again, after 1 minute the addition we will try. Now there is little or absence of a chromic point, or we can say that is very slight change in the color. Again, after 1 minute we will repeat the same procedure. Now if you look at here, there is no change in the color, that means the achromic point is developed. So if we count here, the achromic point is developed after this is 0 minute, 1 2 3 4 5 6. So after near about 6 minutes there is development of achromic point. The first test tube, that is which is marked as first with the 0.5 concentrations. If you look at how the color changes takes place, very first of all there was complete absence of hydrolysis of starch, as just saliva was added, no starch was degraded, therefore there is complete violet color. Slowly the color changes gradually, lastly it will become brownish red, and finally it is become colorless. So this is how for the 0.5% concentration the achromic point is achieved after 6 minutes. Now in the similar fashion we will take 2 ml of saliva. And we have to add it to the next test tube, that is having 1% concentration. As soon as we add this saliva, we have to mix it thoroughly, and we have to add few drops of this mixture to the first test tube, and we have to observe the color change. So there is color change, that means starch is present as such. We will wait for 1 minute now. Repeat the procedure again. After 1 minute we will repeat this. We will add few drop of mixture in iodine solution. Again there is color change is observed. Again after few minutes we will try to add this mixture to the iodine solution. Still there is color change. try to add this. Still there is color changes observed. Repeat the same procedure. Still there is color changes observed. Now the color changes to brownish. We will repeat the procedure after next 1 minute. Still there is slight modification in the color. Now this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 minutes is come over, and after 8 minutes also there is slight modification is, and we will try same procedure. There is no change in the color. The achromic point is now achieved. So we can say that is here is completely blue color. The completely blue color is observed here. Slightly violet color is observed here. Slowly red color is observed here, and finally complete achromic point is observed here. So if we count this is 0 minute, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 stars solution. Now last we will take for the 2% concentrations. Again we have to add 2 ml of 2 ml of saliva solution in the starch solution of 2%. Mix it, and immediately we have to add in 0 minute test tube. So in the first test tube at 0 minute there is complete development of color. Now we will repeat this procedure after 1 minute. Again we will repeat this after each minute till there is complete blue color. Still there dark blue color is observed. Again we will make the repetition of this addition. Now still there is no color changes observed. So this is the final addition, and there is completely no color change, that is achromic point is observed. Now if we count this, so this is first minute, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12, and this is the last one is 13. So far after 12 minutes we can see, or we can observe, the achromic point is developed. So initially it is the completely blue color, slowly it is gradually changes to violet, then orange, finally to the red, and that is achromic point observed at this point. Okay, can the enzyme hydrolysis for 0.5% starch concentrations. It is found that for the 0.5% starch solution, the achromic point is developed near about after
6 minutes, that is earlier, while after performing same or repeating the same practical or same procedure for 1% starch solution, that is increasing the substrate concentration, it is found that achromic point is developed after 8 minutes. Similar procedure we have repeated for 2% substrate concentration, and it is found the achromic point nearly developed after the 12 minutes. So here we can conclude that as the substrate concentration increases, the salivary amylase activity also decreases.
Performing the practical, we got the following observations. Amylase digests starch catalyzing hydrolysis, which yields polysaccharide gradually of diminishing molecular size, ultimately acrodestin and maltose. The presence of starch can be confirmed by iodine test. Starch gives blue color in the first test tube, and in subsequent test tubes, color gradually changes from blue to violet, red, and then no color thereafter, depending upon the content of the test tube. So initially there is starch is as it is, so with the iodine it gives blue color. As hydrolysis start, gradually it is converted to amylodextrin, which gives violet color with the iodine. Further hydrolysis of amylodextrin to erythrodextrin gives red color with the iodine, and after complete hydrolysis of the starch, that is conversion of erythrodextrin to the acrodextrin and maltose, no color is developed with iodine solution, that is the development of achromic point. Now we have recorded the different observations for different concentration of starch solutions. We have studied salivary amylase activity by using 0.5% starch solutions. The development of achromic point reaches earlier after only 6 minutes. While the second test tube, which contained 1% starch solutions, the study of salivary amylase activity, achromic point reaches later, that is after 8 minutes. While the test 3, which is having 2% starch solution, after hydrolysis of starch by using salivary amylase, the achromic point is further prolonged, that is after 12 minutes. So it is found that as the substrate concentration increases, the salivary amylase activity goes on decreasing. So here we can conclude the result. Increase in the substrate concentration increases time taken to reach the achromic point. Starch is quickly hydrolyzed at 0.5% concentration, that is the time taken to achieve the achromic point is about 6 minutes. It takes longer time for 1% concentration, that is the time taken to achieve the achromic point is about 8 minutes. Still longer time is taken for the 2% substrate concentration, that is the time taken to achieve the achromic point is about 12 minutes. So we can conclude as the substrate concentration increases, the time taken to achieve achromic point also increases. It shows that the salivary amylase activity is definitely affected by substrate concentration. Now we will see some objective questions. What are the different factors affects enzyme activity? The factors like temperature, pH, substrate concentration can affect the enzyme activity. Next, what is the achromic point in hydrolytic activity of starch by salivary amylase? Whenever salivary amylase hydrolyzes the starch, it is converted to different products: amylodextrin, erythrodextrin, and acrodextrin. Finally, after complete hydrolysis, the starch is converted to acrodextrin and maltose, which when tested with the iodine solution, that will give no color with the iodine solution, that is a no color is achromic point. Which test is performed for studying salivary amylase activity? Here we are performing iodine test for studying salivary amylase activity. As we are using starch solution, salivary amylase causes hydrolysis of starch, and if the starch is present as such, it will give blue color with iodine solution. Further hydrolysis of starch gives different products like amylodextrin, erythrodextrin and acrodextrin, which will give the different type of colors with the iodine solution. Which color is produced by amylodextrin with the iodine? Amylodextrin shows violet type of color with the iodine solution. Reaction of iodine with starch produces which color? The blue color. Discuss the principle involved in studying effect of substrate concentration of salivary amylase activity. In this, we are firstly reacting the we are firstly allowing the starch to hydrolyze with the salivary amylase. The salivary amylase causes hydrolysis of starch, convert it into the amylodextrin, then erythrodextrin and acrodextrin. Whenever we are testing this different hydrolyzed product of the starch, if there is presence of starch, it will give blue color with the iodine. Further treatment of this, further hydrolysis, the iodine gives violet color with the amylodextrin, while red color with the erythrodextrin, and lastly it will give no color with the acrodextrin. This is to be utilized for studying the salivary amylase activity. If we are using different concentration of the starch solution, that will affect the salivary amylase activity and it prolongs the achromic point development. Iodine test with erythrodextrin shows which color? Red, violet, yellow, blue. Correct option is here A, that is red. Another MCQ, activity of salivary amylase is affected by substrate concentration. Options are true, false. Yes, it is correct. That is true. Hydrolysis of starch by salivary amylase produces maltose, fructose, lactose, none of the above. Correct option is A, that is it produces maltose. Another MCQ, the presence of starch is tested with the help of biuret test, iodine test, anhydrine test, none of the above. Correct option is B, that is iodine test. Which factor affects salivary amylase activity in hydrolysis of starch? pH, temperature, substrate concentration, all of the above. Correct option is D, that is all of the above. Finally, MCQ. Reagents required for the determination of salivary amylase activity on starch except DNase reagent, iodine solution, starch solution, 1% sodium chloride. A is the correct option. It doesn't require DNase reagent for studying the determination of salivary amylase activity. Correct option is A, DNase reagent. Thank you.